Morning, everybody. Thanks for being here. We just wrapped up our fall summit with the GTHA mayors, and this is the 6th time that I've had the opportunity to sit with the mayors and to talk about issues that are of real relevance to all of them. And it's always a helpful conversation. And today we talked about 3 things. We talked about the preparations that are being made as we move to the implementation of the new cannabis protocols. The federal government's legalization of cannabis, of course, has implications for the province as we move to administer the new rules, but the legalization of cannabis by the federal government also has implications for municipalities, and that was the conversation today. We made it clear that we will work with municipalities. We are asking them for input on some of the enforcement issues. Later this fall there will be an enforcement summit that Minister Nakfi will lead, and we will hear from them in more detail as they work with their administrations on some of the issues that they're concerned about. The challenges are complex, right from the siting of stores to the enforcement in public spaces, and so we need to make sure that as resources flow to municipalities, which they will have to do, we want to make sure that they get into the right level of government. For example, that was one of the issues that was raised today, the upper tier municipalities and lower tier municipalities. So there was a fair bit of detail that we got into today, and there will be more as we go down this road. The second issue that we talked about was housing and the impact of the Fair Housing Plan on municipalities around the GTHA, and one of the issues that came up that I think is an interesting focus and that is the availability of provincial land. There were a number of comments from the mayors about their support for that notion that provincial land would be available for building housing that is affordable, building rental housing, and so Minister Milton is going to work with municipalities on that front, and in fact put out a call to the municipalities that if there is provincial land in their jurisdiction that they think they would like to work with the province on and work to see the development of particularly rental housing but also affordable housing, then we want to know about that and to work with them. And then the final issue that we talked about was the provincial challenge fund on reduction, or actually it's called the Municipal Challenge Fund, on projects that will reduce greenhouse gas emissions. And Minister Ballard just gave information to the mayors that this exists, that we're looking forward to them. It's $100 million, and it's part of our commitment to make sure that all of the revenue from the cap and trade program flows into projects that are going to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, and so there's a lot of opportunity there for municipalities. So it was a great meeting. C'est toujours une opportunité d'avoir une conversation sur les concerns des municipalités, et I look forward to meeting with them in the new year. I look forward to your questions.
Premier, on marijuana, will cities get their costs covered? These new costs that they're going to have to incur, will they be covered by the tax revenue that's going to be coming from this legalization?
So that's one of the questions. Exactly what are the resources? One of the mayors said, will there be licensing fees that we'll have access to? Will there be the opportunity for municipalities to raise their own revenues? What will be the resources that will flow from the provincial level to the municipal level? And quite frankly, those issues are not all worked out, but they raised them, and so that's an important piece of this. The issues around zoning were raised as well, and so we need to work out exactly what those regimes will be. But I will say that there was a lot of support. In fact, I think most of the mayors who spoke began by saying that they are supportive of the rules that we are putting in place.
Now, is there a need for Ottawa to maybe give you guys some clarity on how the taxation is going to work, so that you guys can have some fiscal certainty on the money that's going to be coming?
Definitely. What was interesting to me was the conversation with the municipalities, with the province, it mirrors the conversation that we're having with the federal government, in the sense that we don't have all the information that we need. There are issues around enforcement, there are issues around revenue, and those are all the things that we need more clarification from the federal government on, so that we can be clear with the municipal level.
Premier, the Attorney General has been very clear about the illegal pot shops, saying that there's, implying, I guess, the crackdown is coming. The municipalities asking you for direction on that, and what are you saying?
So they did ask this morning on exactly what the expectation was. I'm going to let the minister speak to that.
Thank you, Premier. I mean, we've been very clear from the very beginning that these pot shops are illegal today, and they will remain illegal once legalization takes place. The current federal legislation is absolutely clear that the only way you can purchase or sell medicinal marijuana is through online channel through licensed producers. There is no legality to these pot stores today. And as we have announced, we will have a control board mechanism by which cannabis will be sold in the province by retail storefronts and through online channel. We had a very good conversation. As the Premier mentioned, the municipal leaders very much support our approach, and they want to work with us in putting an end to these illegal stores. And one of the ways that we want to explore how we can better coordinate our efforts is by hosting this enforcement summit in this coming fall, working very closely with Minister Lalonde on that. We will bring our municipal partners, our law enforcement partners, our police services, so that we can determine as to what is the best way to make sure that these illegal stores are not in our communities.
So are you saying that we shouldn't expect a crackdown on the stores before that summit in the fall? And where's that summit taking place?
Well, so we're working on the details of the summit, and most likely will take place in Greater Toronto area for ease of for convenience. You know, the police services are taking this responsibility very seriously already, and they, as you know, in cities like Toronto, Ottawa, and Hamilton, we have seen police enforcement. We wanted to make sure that we make it very clear as to what the regime will look like in Ontario when cannabis is legalized, and that's why we've made it very clear. It's obviously up to the police to enforce the law, and we have full confidence they will do so. If there are ways that we can work together more effectively, we want to learn those ways and find better ways of coordinate our efforts, see if there's any gaps, any other tools that we can make available to municipalities and our police services, and that's the purpose that the Enforcement Summit is going to fulfill, so that we are working together.
But let me just say, one mayor today said, you know, as soon as one of these pot shops pops up, it's shut down right away. So it varies municipality to municipality, but it's already happening that, I mean, we can use crackdown or whatever word, but it's already happening that where there's an illegal pot shop, there's already action being taken.
Premier, I just wanted to ask you about the ad that the attack ad against you that the Conservatives are running. It's got a fairly severe looking picture of you, and
I have not seen it. I will just say I have heard about it, but I have not seen it.
Oh, okay. I can tell you a little bit about it.
You were. Sorry.
It says you're untrustworthy, and that the Ontario Liberal Party is corrupt. How do you feel about this kind of an ad coming from the Conservatives?
Well, I've intentionally not watched it because I really have a lot of other things to do. You know, it's really important to me that I focus on the work that is the core of my job, and that is, like today, meeting with municipal leaders to talk about the things that are very relevant to people's lives in our communities around the province, in this case around the GTHA. I just came back from Quebec, where we had a really important opportunity to talk with our colleagues in Quebec about, about issues that are of huge importance to each of our provinces, whether it's the relationship with the United States and our trade changes that we're concerned about, or whether it is the role of Central Canada in this country of ours. I mean, those are issues that affect people's lives every single day. I've had the opportunity over the last number of weeks to meet with young people who are accessing free tuition. You know, they're in college and university because of a decision that we made to change OSAP. I've also talked to some older people who didn't realize that they were eligible for free tuition. And so those are the things that I'm focused on. And you know, if the opposition party is running nasty attack ads, that's, you know, you'll have to ask them about that.
Well, I did yesterday as well, so then I'm going to ask you about, you know, your commitment from your party in terms of the ads that you're going to run. Are you going to not run attack ads against Patrick Brown? Are you going to also personally approve of the ads? I know you say you didn't watch this Conservative ad, but
well, I do. Yeah. So the ads that are run on my watch are ads that I know about and I approve. Look, we're going into a political campaign. There will be contrasts that will be drawn between who I am and who the opposition leaders are and what we're doing and what they will do. That's part of the political process. But I will be focusing on the work that we're doing. I'll be focusing on the benefits of the policies that we are putting in place for the people of this province. And I will be focusing on what more we can do, because I'm not under any illusion that we're finished. You know, I'm not under any illusion that we have that fair province that we really need if everyone's going to have the opportunity that they are capable of and that they deserve. So I'll be focusing on the benefits of what we're doing and what more we can do to help people in their lives.
Are you still thinking about suing him for libel, suing Patrick Brown for libel? I don't think he's apologized for your lawyer.
Well, again, I think the lawyers are looking at all of that, and I think we're in a period now where I hope that I would hope that Patrick Brown would step forward and would you know, be truthful about what actually happened in Sudbury.
Premier, did you approve the ad buy for the Fair Hydro plan? The documents the NDP got through FY suggest that the Cabinet Office gave the initial go-ahead on those.
So there are many ads that are run through government about government policies. You know, whether it is giving people information about the OSAP changes. I just mentioned that I have met older people in the last little while who didn't know that they were eligible for free tuition. We're going to be putting in place free medication for kids from 0 till their 25th birthday. We need to make sure that families know about that. In the same way with hydro, you know, the OESP, the program for low-income Ontarians, we need to make sure that people know how to access the programs that we put in place in this province. That's what all of that advertising is about.
Thanks, guys. We got a question. Should schools be air conditioned? Should schools be air conditioned? We're running into some real.
It's very hot right now. I recognize that, and there has been money that has flowed to school boards where decisions are made about changes in their buildings. I recognize it's really hot, and you know, I hope that teachers and kids are okay, that there are fans, and that they're able to deal with it. Thanks everybody. Merci.
Rapidement, français. Rapidement, français.
Rapidement.
Juste au niveau de la rencontre avec les maires, quelles sont les grandes préoccupations? De quoi avez-vous discuté rapidement?
Nous avons discuté la légalisation de cannabis. Nous avons aussi discuté les nouvelles règles sur le housing et aussi le plan pour le changement climatique et les fonds pour les municipalités. Merci.